I live in a state of perpetual expectancy. What does that mean? It means that I expect that I will be wildly successful. I anticipate that I have nothing but huge opportunities coming to me. I treat myself like someone who is the best thing that people just haven't heard of. Now, I recognize that for a lot of people, that is difficult because we have our own self-worth issues, we have confidence issues, and I want you to know, I have all those too. I absolutely have my awkward, hot mess, I can't handle this, pit stains, crying in a Target parking lot moments. I have those too. But when it comes down to knowing my truth, I always try to return to the place of awareness that, look, God has very specific things that he has spoken over my life and that have been revealed time and time again. And I refuse to stray from believing in him. I want what he wants for me and not what I want for me, because what he wants is greater. And I can't tell you how many times over when I make decisions from the standpoint of where I want to be and not where I am today, that's where I actually move forward. So as an example, and this is, people in my life have become acclimated to my ridiculousness around that mindset, but it's true. In college, one of the things that was a running joke all the time was you couldn't find pictures of me with Solo cups in my hand. It's not that I never went to a party, although I'm neither confirming nor denying I drank any substances, but it was a running joke that they just could not snap pictures of me doing anything that seemed even the slightest bit off. And the reason why was because at the time, I wasn't sure if I wanted to run for office. So I was like, the last thing you're going to do is have any photos of me in college doing anything weird or compromising that could be an issue, right? Now, does it mean that I was perfect about that? No. Thanks to the Facebook, I'm sure we could probably dig up a funny picture here or there. But, I really did try my best to make sure that I was living with an expectancy. I wanted to be the person who was in their 20s thinking about what I was going to do and accomplish and live a legacy in my 40s. Even now, my assistant laughed the other day because she was packing up some items from my headquarters in Atlanta to ship over to my Los Angeles offices that I'm opening. And as she was packing things up, she was like, well, do we need this or do we need this personal effect or what do you think of this item? And I would tell her, I would say, well, no, that can get donated or that could get sold. Actually, we should pack that up in a box for the Smithsonian and that one should go over here. And she stopped me and she said, I'm sorry, what, Nicole? And I said, yeah. I was like, well, those items need to get packed up for the Smithsonian. And she's like, what are you saying right now? And I explained to her that I keep a Smithsonian box because once I have an exhibit in the National Museum of African American History, I want to make sure they have good items for that exhibit. You're not just going to put into the exhibit my toothbrush because I didn't carefully curate, the flyer for my first live event. I want to make sure they have all the items to be able to tell an appropriate story. That is really so I have certain dresses where I'm like, oh, this could get donated, but I should keep this one because it might be a good artifact for the exhibit. I'm thinking about my legacy on today. Okay. And I know that sounds bananas to people who don't think that way. But I want to let you know that if I am thinking with that level of big, then that means that wherever I fall short is still going to be bigger than the person next to me. And I want you to know that is the same attitude I carry to accepting opportunities that show up on my plate.